The Olympics are here, everyone. Hello, welcome to another edition of On Air. I am your host, Ryan Ayers. And first things first, I am totally in the Rory McIlroy camp. Since golf hasn't been around the Olympics in over 100 years, I can understand why he wanted to pass with the Zika issue out there down in Rio, and the fact that he believes, as well as I, that the real sports of the Olympics to pay attention to are track and field, the gymnastics, and the basketball, and of course, men's and women's swimming. Those are the things that get me completely excited about this time every 4 years when it rolls around in the summertime. And the first thing I want to touch on is the Olympic track and field. Now that's going to be about 2 weeks away from now, or closer to 10 days. But the person I want to have everybody watch out for, that I'm going to be excited as well, Tim Tebow excited, that we're going to watch Allyson Felix most likely dominate for her gold medal chance in the 400 meters. She's had an ankle injury leading up to the Olympic trials out in Eugene, Oregon. We're worried about that she wasn't going to be able to perform to her best ability. She still was able to smoke away some great competition on the American side. And now she only is going to get stronger and stronger with that ankle. I totally expect her to dominate down in Rio. She is not the most assuming athlete. She's not built like a brick, like some of these other ladies that run that event, where you could just immediately see that that individual or her competitors is a great athlete, you know. But she is one of those under the radar athletes that she's not imposing, like I said, but she just goes out there and blazes around that track and really turns it on the final 150 meters of that 400-meter race. So that's going to be something for everyone to look out for. Also in the 400 meters on the men's side is LaShawn Merritt. He was not able to perform that or the 200 meters 4 years ago in London because of, you guessed it, what most men are on in track and field, drugs. He was busted for performance-enhancing drugs, so he had to miss out on an opportunity to defend his gold medal that he won in the 400 meters in Beijing. So he'll be able, now that he's clean, hopefully, he continues to test positive, he'll be able to run in that event, and I fully expect he will do a Allyson Felix on the men's side. So let's look out for those two outstanding American athletes. They've got great opportunities ahead of themselves in those two events to bring home American gold medals. And on the flip side is Jamaica. You can't talk about track and field, even though I want to focus on the Americans mostly, without talking about Usain Bolt. This is a year where our 100-meter specialist, who's also in the past been busted for drugs, Justin Gatling, might be able to sneak up and grab a race in the 100 meters at the perfect time. You know, Usain Bolt is coming off of a hamstring injury. We'll see. We haven't been able to determine how difficult or tough of an injury it has been for him to come back. You know, first rumors were a fully torn hamstring. Other rumors were saying it wasn't torn. So we'll see how healthy Usain Bolt is. He's got a teammate in Usafa Powell. If it wasn't for Usain Bolt, he'd probably be the greatest sprinter short distance on earth right now. He kind of takes a little bit of a back seat, being the second best overall sprinter in the world, but still second best in his country. How's that work? But sometimes just bad luck on things like that. The next sport, women's gymnastics. That's always something for someone that's a layperson like myself that's never watched women's gymnastics until the Summer Olympics every 4 years. Simone Biles is a person new on the scene from 4 years ago that you're going to want to look out for. Supposedly she's got a really tough routine coming up, but she's a super athlete. And Gabby Douglas is back. She made her claim to fame by dominating 4 years ago, leading and helping the United States women's gymnastics team to an overall gold medal. So that's going to be something always fun to watch. Girls and guys, if you watch the men's gymnastics too, flipping around and jumping off trampolines and stuff. We hope that none of our athletes on the American side end up like the French athlete did today. On the men's side in gymnastics, that was a gruesome injury, a broken leg that he had happened to him today. So best of luck to the men's and women's side of gymnastics. Let's get to basketball, and it's mainly the NBA. That's who are the teams that are going to compete for the gold, silver, and bronze. It's going to be loaded with NBA talent. The United States team, I know this, in my opinion, is more of a B-plus team. You don't have LeBron James, Stephen Curry, or Russell Westbrook, but this American side basketball is phenomenal. So I don't understand, unless it's just a little bit of semantics or hyperbole, why Coach K is nervous. They come out today in their first game and just absolutely blow the doors off China, 119-62. Maybe it's just to keep these guys motivated. They know they're going to have every team's best shot coming at them, so they do have to stay focused. There's going to be some competition. Spain is going to come at them. Paul Gasol, Ricky Rubio, Marco Rubio, and also Rudy Fernandez. People have forgotten about him. He's still a quality baller that plays overseas instead of the NBA now. So that probably will be, if we want to go out and project it ahead, that's going to be the gold medal match, in my opinion, Spain against the United States. And the United States just has too much talent, too much depth. They're all all-stars. It's not like the benches that all these other teams, like Australia I watched today, play. Patty Mills, Andrew Bogut. That's great. Matthew Delly from the Cavs, or now on to Milwaukee. But those guys, once they're sitting on the bench and they have to be subbed, there's really nobody competitive on the bench for those types of teams. You know, France has all the talent in the world, but they can't even get into the medal stage, even with Tony Parker and guys like Boris Dio on that team. So we'll have a couple weeks to talk about that. Basketball is all 2 weeks long, and we'll see what happens in the medal rounds. That's obviously what the American side and American fans are looking forward to. These exhibitions are fun, watching these other teams getting blown out, but it's going to be fun as well to watch the United States hoist that gold medal, and they're doing it for Craig Sager, to mention that as well. And finally, I want to touch on something. You know, I can't even swim 100 meters without drowning, but Michael Phelps holding the flag last night in the open ceremonies. That was the first time he actually got to attend the opening ceremonies, because he's always so busy doing so many events early on in the Olympics. But he's going to go up in something that's going to be a duel for the ages. Ryan Lochte and himself, 200-meter individual medley. That's the thing I'm looking forward to most, because they are the two best swimmers in that event in the world. Not just their team, but they're going to smoke out the competition. But you know what? I want to see if Ryan Lochte can catch him. He's coming back from an injury. And there's also other stories as well. Missy Franklin and Connor Dwyer, his comeback attempt. But that event, for a guy that doesn't know how to swim, basically, to be able to see Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte go at it one final time in these Olympics in that 200-meter IM will be something truly to behold for any overall sports fan. And with that, I want to let you know this is On Air, and I am your host, Ryan Ayers.